welcome to this Poor Things review. We will be keeping this spoiler free as it's only just come out in the UK, and I will admit I'm a huge fan of the director's work, with probably The Lobster might be my favourite, while the dialogue in Killing of the Sacred Deer is astonishingly refreshing when I finally checked it out, and well, I can see a lot of this movie in The Favourite. A line of cynicism at the world, while cutting through the BS of society's norms, runs through his movies, and I feel that this is somewhat the culmination of all of his preceding work, which were mostly kind of similar in style of being work on society and more of a human thing, whereas this is more of a sweeping epic. We see, and I won't spoil anything here, the world through someone who's fresh to the world while also being locked up away from the world itself. The movie takes heavy inspiration from Frankenstein and gruesome tales of Victorian London, and I could not help but think that this is a sick and twisted version of Barbie, which I also absolutely loved. Now, I found the opening just to be a little bit too bizarre for my liking, and I wondered where this was going to go, having seen the trailer, and I do try to avoid watching trailers when I can, because I find that they do ruin a lot of the movies these days. But Emma Stone is another level of performance here, as we see her Bella grow from essentially a toddler to a well-rounded woman who's grown to see the world and it's not going to get her down at all. And as a parent to a toddler, she really does creepily get that whole real unworldly likeness of a toddler, while also having the absolute curiosity to a point where they will be lashing out if they can't do something. Its silliness has charm, but this disappears from the world as it's exposed, and the world is exposed showing its cruel underbelly, which was particularly harrowing in one of the scenes when they get to Alexandria, which, yeah. But I couldn't help but think that there was heavy inspiration from Wes Anderson, as Ruffalo's cad lover would not be out of place in somewhere like the French Dispatch or the Grand Budapest Hotel. I've never been too hot on a Ruffalo, but his comedic timing and disappearance into this role had me in stitches at times, and the long lingering shots were hilariously uncomfortable, and just shows how I'd imagine that the director has made these actors comfortable and be able to explore such ridiculous things here. While the movie does take itself and it's pretty seriously, the humour is not out of place. It's not one-liners or that. It's just laughing at how out of place in society Bella's outbursts are, as it starts with what she's doing isn't accepted in polite society, but she's told, screw polite society. But over the course of the movie, she refuses to accept the norm. She's told many different world views, but she's got to discover one for herself. And I really like that. It's like how we laugh at kids saying the funniest things. I feel the journey and destination worked so well as we saw literal growth of Bella from a toddler. It was refreshing to see her kind of be allowed to go out into the world. She was sort of allowed to escape there. And also loved the expanding of Godwin's backstory, as it slowly revealed why he has such a morbid and macabre scientific intrigue and why he's so down on a lot of things. And this back and forth with Rami Youssef was great. And I thought Rami Youssef, I've not seen him in anything else. I believe he's in Wish, but I haven't had a chance to see that yet. But aside from the stellar performances, the set design and colour palette are gorgeous. And while they have the shape and design of what we know, they almost feel Gilliam or Wes Anderson-esque in a hyper-stylized, almost surreal kind of Gaudi's work in Barcelona. And at times, the kind of where you only see the lens and everything else is blacked out, and some of the camera angles on the characters as they look confused, it very much did feel like Brazil at times. The world is hyper stylized, almost surreal-like, sort of like Gaudi's work in Barcelona, if you went to go and check that out. Think of the Sagrada Familia, but more like Gaudi Park there. The sets are their own dioramas, and so they're kind of like video game levels. As Alexandria in particular feels surreal, as it looks nothing like you would imagine. Showing each stage of the movie is the prison in its own way. And it's no wonder why Emma Stone won the Golden Globe. She is just absolutely fantastic in this movie. An incredible range of emotions. And, well, I thought it was fantastic watching this movie. Ruffalo had me in stitches at points there. And the deadpan deliver, almost kind of clinical nature of Bella works very well. But that is just my opinion. If you want to go and see it, go and see it. And if you've already seen it, let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll see you soon, and goodbye.